Hello everyone, welcome to another video. This is going to be a little tool talk about this. Now, why am I talking about a vegetable steamer when I'm a jewelry page? That's a good question. So this is actually an idea. We're kind of bouncing this off of someone else. They posted recently, Craig Dabler, who is the admin, creator, owner of the Let's Make kind of jewelry series of groups. They have a Let's Make Jewelry, Let's Cast, Let's Set Stones, variety of them, depending on what you're interested in. I'm particularly interested in the Let's Cast Jewelry one, and this is where he posted. So this is a vegetable steamer that just so happens to be perfectly well designed for steam dewaxing. Now, what is steam dewaxing? Steam dewaxing is when, before you do the burnout process, so you have your wax tree model, you have invested it in a flask, so it's surrounded by the plaster investment, and what's typical these days is to just burn it away. It's called the burnout process for a reason. You have your wax tree, all of this wax just kind of drips onto the floor of the kiln and burns into nothing. And it goes up your ventilation, and then you hopefully you have ventilation, and then it's gone. And that's exactly how it's supposed to work. However, in my case, and in many others, I would strongly recommend this process. Now, if you're into this, thinking that this will work with resins, like 3D printed resins for casting, stop, because this isn't going to apply to you. However, if you are doing carving wax or injection wax, then stick around because this does apply. Now, in my case, I have a ductless fume hood, which is why I got into this. In other words, the ductless system just kind of sucks up the fumes, puts them through a 4-stage filtration process, and then puts the air back into the room. Now, as we have found out the hard way, those filters can be overwhelmed, and they also have a lifespan. So, in other words, if I put all of this wax just burning into the kiln, and the filter are trying to clean all that air, it just might not. We noticed that there was a lot of fumes, despite going through the process, the filtration process, that is. And we needed to look for a solution because our new space is rent controlled. In other words, we have a landlord who doesn't want us cutting holes in the wall. Go figure. Especially if it's going outside. We're also in the middle of downtown. So if I was to have these fumes just being piped out into the environment, I guarantee I would get a complaint. So the simple solution that we came up with was, let's just not have any wax to burn out. And it just so happened that Craig's post coincided with the exact time that this idea kind of came into my head. Well, let's try steam dewaxing. And this seemed like a cheap option. Industrial steam dewaxing, I believe, is still a thing. However, finding the machines to do that process have become increasingly rare. I believe it's because simply no one needs them anymore. Like, there's just not enough demand. If you have one, you probably bought it a long time ago, and you've used it a few times. It doesn't die. It's doing its job, and maybe it was a bit expensive. It's just not a market for it anymore, so no one's building them. But there are these, and this one, as I mentioned, is perfectly designed for our process. Now, why is that? Well, let's explain. This one, not only is it cheap, but it seems to be pretty well built. It's not overly heavy, but it seems good. Now, what interests me the most is that the heating element, is in the middle, which is exactly where the flask is positioned, which is perfect, because we want as much steam going straight up and melting the wax away as we can. We don't want to steam the outside. There's no advantage to doing that. And the other reason is because it's 2-tiered. Now, this one actually has a bit more room left. This is a 4-inch by 6-inch flask, 4-inch diameter, 6 inches tall, and it fits perfectly. I believe this little dewaxer could hold probably a 5 by 7 or 8-inch if you had one. Those are very uncommon sizes, mind you. 4 by 6 is I think, a production level, but you can buy flasks in any size you want. Now, this is for vacuum casting. If you're more into spin casting, then you probably have a flask more looking like this, which is just a steel tube. This one, I don't use these very much. I have a number of them, but you know, it's good to have on hand. In this little system, it seems that I could fit probably eight of them, 4 on the bottom, and then I don't actually have it with me, but this center part has another grill, like a plastic grill, that fits inside. So you could do 2 layers if you really wanted to. You have the bottom 4 and then kind of offset them so that the wax is dripping not directly onto the other flasks, ideally. So that's all I really have to say about this. I think this is a great solution. Very affordable, does the job quick. It's readily available, amazon.ca or .com, I'll link below. Look for that other video somewhere up here about our ductless fume hood kind of follow-up. We did the unboxing and then we've done a few casts where we had to do a lot of troubleshooting, so we've kind of gone through all those processes and things to consider. Please check out that video if you're interested in a ductless hood system. If you're interested in supporting our channel, somewhere down here we have our membership program. There's various tiers. Go check out what those are. I can't remember. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.